What's up, y'all? It's your girl back with another video, and today I'm bringing you a tutorial on feed-in box braids. They are smaller, they are easy to do, and I'll be showing you step by step on what I did. And so I hope this tutorial helps you. I have a feeling that it will. It's very beginner friendly. And I just want to say, y'all, thank you for rocking with me. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. And so what we're going to do is get started with the materials. I use Gotta Be Glued, Shine Jam, and a rat tail comb. And obviously a ponytail holder. But we're going through right now, we're prepping this line of braids, I want to say, or this level of braids. And the reason that I go level by level is because it assures me that my braids and my parts are staying crisp and nice and neat. Some people prep all the way through. If that's better for you, do that. Prep your hair before you start if that's what's easiest for you. But for me, I tend to change it or change it up as I go. So it's a lot easier for me to do it line by line. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm using product on my part and I'm parting. This process does take a long time. Yes, the video is sped up, but I did not cut out a lot of this process because I do want you guys to understand that it does take time. So be patient, keep parting. You see, I'm in the same area, literally, for about 5 or 6 times of trying to part this area. So if you're a beginner, know that it is okay if it takes you a while to get your parting down and get your parting together, because that's what really makes your braids look really crisp and clean. Okay? And so as you can see, I am using product as I go through the part. I'm putting product on the part, I'm putting product on the hair. I am just making sure that this is really, really clean. And again, this does take some time. So be patient with yourself. Be cool. You got this. See? That's what it'll come out looking like. You want to make sure that that ponytail is kind of tight so that if you have a client that scalp moves, it will still be a straight part. And so now here I'm just going through making sure that I'm twisting each individual one. That way it is out of the way and I can just go through and do my layer that I'm on. And I go from side to side just to make sure that it's even. It ends up giving me an even 2 in the back of the row, as opposed to going through the row and then the top 2 aren't the same size. And so I'm parting in a stacked motion or in a stacked situation where I'm actually stacking the parts on top of the previous line of braids. I'm not going straight down to where my braids are in a row or in a column. I'm making sure that they're staggered like stairs so that the braids look fuller. My daughter wanted them smaller. She wanted the feed-in thinner. So for that, if your client ever wants that, then that is the best way to do that. Even if it's just the tiniest bit staggered, because sometimes it will not be a perfect stagger. You will get what you're trying to achieve accomplished if you stagger those braids. or stagger the parts, excuse me. Braider tip. This is what I'm talking about. Stagger those parts. And by me going from side to side, like I said, in the back, it'll leave me with an even 2 braids. See that there? So when I start at the front, I do the one in the front on the right side or the left side, and then I do the one on the left side. And then I keep going from side to side, just like that. That way I end up with even braids on my line. And as you can see, that's what we want it to look like, staggered. Now we're getting into the braid. So you want to make sure that you're using product. Product is your friend at the root. Be careful when you're a new braider to put product all over the hair if you don't have your grip down yet, because your grip is very important when doing feed-in braids, because you don't want the braid or the hair to slip out as you're feeding it in as you're braiding. You don't want the look of a braid that's not attached to the scalp. So I go in and I do 3 parts. I put product in the parts and then I braid. I do 2 motions, so right and left hand, before I add. I know it's a little blurry, I apologize for that. But as you can see, I did 2 motions. Then I added a skinny amount of hair, skinnier than my daughter's hair braid original, okay? And the reason I do that is because you don't want to bulk at the top, making it look like it has a knot. These are knotless feed-ins, okay? You don't want it to bulk at the top of the braid or at the scalp of the braid. And so I did the one side, and in order for it to be even, I put another piece of the same size on the left side. If you start on the right side, put a piece in, braid, go to the left side, put a piece in, braid. And the reason you do that is because it will keep your feed-in even, okay? You don't want your feed-in uneven. See how I did that there? I tried to really slow it down for you guys. And see now, don't twist or change direction in your braiding until you've added all the hair you want to add. If you're a beginner, that will work so much better for you, because then you don't have to figure out how to add hair while you're trying to hide the hair, if that makes sense. You want to make sure that you're tucking under the fake hair. So you want the real hair tucked under the fake hair in every braid, so that you can't see your client's real hair in the braid, especially if the textures are different. And that's the way you achieve that. So remember, beginner, don't change your direction in your braid until you're done adding hair. Then you can go tuck it under and begin to tuck, because then it will also make it easier for you to where you don't have to worry about adding hair all throughout the braid. Trust me, it's a lot easier. I've been a beginner. I'm going through making sure that my parts are nice and crisp, doing the same thing again. making sure that I have product all throughout that hair, not necessarily on the bottom. You see, I'm only at the root, okay? You don't want to do that all the way through the hair. Now see, I'm going through each side, braid, side. Make sure it's clean, braid, side, braid, add. And that's what you want to do. Don't switch the direction until you're done adding hair. And there you got it. See, that front braid is very even. All my braids are even. Go through, add product. Make sure that my braids are nice and clean on the layer below, because the whole point is to have these braids looking really neat and clean. Anybody can braid hair. It's about how neat and clean those parts, those parts are looking and the hair is looking, because you gripped it. And this process does take a long time. So charge your clients accordingly, because feed-in braids take a long time. See how I do one braid, right and left, and then hair. Braid, hair. Braid, hair. Braid, braid, hair. And if I'm done, then that's when I change the direction and I continue down and braid. Braid, braid, add hair, 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 braid. When you're done, switch direction, tuck the hair. Beginners, this is a bomb way. This is the way I learned how to do feed-in braids. I mastered my own idea of how I should do it because of the style that I braid in. As you can see, I braid overhand and underhand. So this is the best way, or was the best way, for me to get my braids neat and uniform. Also, another tip, use smaller sections of hair. It's easier when you're adding small sections of hair to the braid rather than trying to add fat sections of hair to the braid. The smaller the braid, the easier the feed-in will be. And remember, at the tip, add small sections of hair at the root. You can get bigger later as you go down and as you get better, but to me, it was easier to do small ones. And this is how the scalp looks. This is how it turned out. My daughter really likes them. This is how they look in the ends. I used 2 colors. I didn't even have to dip her hair. The hair was so good that I didn't have to dip it. I was able to braid it all the way to the end. So if you find a good quality hair, you'll really also help yourself out in a lot of ways too. Remember, shine and jam, or whatever it is that you decide to use as far as edge control, wax, and a comb, baby. And this is how her hair looks. She loves it so much. It's light, not heavy on her scalp or on her head. And I didn't use a lot of product to where it melts in her hair. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, baby. And I will be back with another tutorial. Have a great one. I love you. Mwah.